and for Americans, replacing Roe versus Wade, kicking it out, overturning it, I would be very careful about that. Because the real future battle is going to become something else. It's not going to be a fight about ending pregnancies and the right of someone not to have a child that they don't want. I suspect down the road we will get contraception and interventions that are day-after pills that can effectively and 100% prevent unwanted pregnancy. The future fight is going to be this. If you can make better babies, does the government have the right to demand that you make better babies? It's cheap. Why would anybody allow you to have a child knowingly that's a Down's child, or a child with cystic fibrosis, or a child with juvenile diabetes, or a child with a disposition to autism if you didn't have to? And some parents are going to say, I don't care. I want the right to reproduce as I want to. Maybe I'm deaf and I want to have a deaf child. I don't really want all that science foisted upon me. Those who argue that we should throw out the protection of the right to privacy, this is a prediction about future ethics, had better be careful, because it's going to turn out to be the best protection individuals have for reproductive choice. There will be enormous pressures to perfect babies, not from just businesses that want to sell the technology, but from governments who are going to say, have you looked at the healthcare costs out there? Then let's make kids who aren't as sick. Let's make better babies. And the only way you're going to be able to retain choice about that is if you have privacy. So before tossing out privacy rights, it would behoove us to look forward a little bit in the abortion fights in the U.S. and in other countries and realize maybe you don't approve of abortion, but the way to restrict it or to limit it, I don't believe, is by getting rid of the right to privacy. That is a big danger in a world in which pressures will be extreme to force the use of perfectionist or meliorist technologies onto parents. Everybody follow that? So it's a complete turnaround of where people think they're at. Now they think the government in many parts of the world approves the murder of children. Whether that's so or not, we can debate. But in future, the government will be forcing the creation of certain types of children, I predict, or some governments will. And the only protection that those who don't want to do it will have is that very same privacy right in the U.S. as established in Roe versus Wade. It would be extremely erroneous, in my view, to toss that privacy right away, even if one is committed to the protection of embryonic or fetal life. I think you have to go at it by other means today. So that's just that's an example, by the way, of bioethics futurology that you have to be careful with what you're doing today, because you might find out you have a need for that value very much so tomorrow.